Greetings, Moonlight citizens. Here's another episode of Moonlight Kingdom Reviews. And on this episode, we will be reviewing the 2024 action movie, Carry-On. Yeah, starring Taron Egerton and Jason Bateman. Oh, yeah. Ready on this episode of Moonlight Kingdom Reviews in 3, 2, 1. Anyway, here we are. Kickoff. This film directed by... wait a minute. Who's this director here? I've never heard of this person before. This movie with a 6.5 out of 10 rating on IMDb, directed by Jean Colette Serra, written by TJ Fixman, with an all-star crew of Taron Egerton as Ethan Kopech, Jason Bateman as the Traveler, Sophia Carson as Nora Parisi, the love interest of Eric, and Theo Rossi as the Watcher, including Logan Marshall Green as Agent Alcott and Dean Norris as Phil Sarkowski. Let's get into the movie itself. Now that we know who's in it, this is a Netflix original film. Yeah, Christmas film. It's a diehard on a ... type movie. You know how you, back in the day when Die Hard was a big thing, you started having a slew of Die Hard copycats? Well, it's kind of like that. You know, how Under Siege is the Die Hard on a boat. And, you know, when you think about it, well, technically, you know, Snakes on a Plane. Okay, Passenger 57 is more or less a Die Hard on a plane. And, you know, you got basically Die Hard everywhere. Speed is the best Die Hard on a ... because Speed is Die Hard on a bus. And Speed 2 is one of the least impressive Die Hard on a ... because it's Die Hard on a cruise liner. Not even Die Hard on a battleship. Because Under Siege, yeah, it's a boat, and boats don't move at the same speed as buses do with the same intensity, but at least it's Under Siege, it's a battleship with like armed terrorists. So yeah, there's something there. There's some definite, you know, stakes. There's rising action. There's a countdown. There's all this stuff. You know, there's a sense of immediacy with a battleship full of armed terrorists. But with Speed 2, it's a cruise liner with one terrorist. It's like, I mean, it's not, well, it's not a bus. I'll say that much. It ain't Die Hard on a bus. But anywho, this, ladies and gentlemen, is Die Hard in an airport. But if you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, Die Hard in an airport, isn't that just Die Hard 2? Well, yeah, but it's Die Hard from the perspective of a TSA agent, you know? And the TSA agent played by Taron Egerton. Okay, but getting into this, this film isn't just Die Hard 2. This film is one part Die Hard 2, one part Eagle-Eye. Remember that Shia LaBeouf movie where he's being surveilled by this evil AI? Yeah, with all these cameras and, you know, accomplices from all over and this part of this intricate plan. Yeah, this ordinary man is basically turned into an accomplice to an act of terror in that movie. Yeah, it's one part that, you know, one part Die Hard 2, one part Eagle-Eye, with just a bit of Joe Schumacher's phone booth mixed in regards to the relationship between Taron Egerton and the Traveler later in the movie. Yeah. Also, the shit, before I get any further, the shit Taron Egerton does in this film, this shit would get your ass. In the real world, this is a good thing this is a movie, because if you did this in the real world, this shit would get you fired. If you were a TSA agent and you did the shit he did, this shit would get you fired. Maybe even thrown in jail. What the heck, man? This dude, he leaves his post so many times and for so long. Not only that, but he is straight up assaults a cop and goes after a hitman. Illegally boards a plane to go after a hitman, purposely detonates an explosive device while chasing said hitman. Like, this would get you fired. This would get you, like, man. In the real world, even if you save the day, like, you are so fired, man. The shit he does in this movie, you are so fired. It's not even funny, man. Hot damn. Yeah. So the movie opens with Jason Bateman taking out these dudes that you can tell it's a Christmas tree because it has a murder happen at a place that sells Christmas trees, and a bunch of Christmas trees go up in flames. Yeah, and amidst this wreckage, there's this device that is listening to oh, there's this listening device amidst all this flames that somehow manages to survive in a charred form, but survive nonetheless. Although this scene, I was wondering to myself, why are they hiding Jason Bateman's face? Like, it's going to be some big reveal when he turns and we know who he is. Like, we recognize that voice, you know. We know that voice. It's not going to be some big reveal when it turns out who he is. We know who this dude is. His face is all over the fucking poster. His name's in the credits. We know who this is. It's like, man, why are you doing this? Why are you filming him like this? We know it's him. We recognize that voice. We've seen this trailer. We've seen this film's poster. But whatever. Taron Egerton, the main guy, is a man who works at TSA. He applied for a job at the police academy and he got rejected. His girlfriend is pregnant and thinks he should apply again because last time she feels he gave up too quickly. Now, all this is said within minutes of us seeing Taron Egerton's character, as him and his wife have this little back-to-back conversation while they're laying in bed. Basically, a big exposition dump. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this character in the opening minutes, so that I don't have to explain anything later down the line. So, yeah. Anyway. So he goes to his boss and he gets tries to get a promotion, tries to get pushed to a different position so he can get some more money because he's got a baby coming. He's got something to think about now. He can't just, autopilot his way through his job like he used to now. Now he has to be committed. He has to actually dig in so he can try to get this promotion. His boss is played by Dean Norris, by the way. Yeah, Hank from Breaking Bad. Yeah, he was also the principal in Fist Fight. Yeah, I think it's Fist Fight. Yeah, he's been in a bunch of movies. He's actually pretty good. Apparently, he was also in that Steven Seagal movie, Hard to Kill. Yeah, he had hair back then, so you may not recognize him. But yeah, he was one of the crooked cops. Anyway, yeah, his boss is played by Dean Norris, and though he initially turns him down for the promotion, he ends up giving it to him once he shows initiative and promises to do more. Because, man, having this kid changes things. I want to do more. I don't want to just sleepwalk my way through life. And it's like, it's a plus for this character because it seems like he's really, hey, man, you just found out you were dad and you're already thinking about your kid. You're already thinking ahead on how you're going to try to make this work. Good for you, man. Good for you. So, yeah. It cuts to Shades from Luke Cage. Yeah, the guy. You remember that guy Shades from Luke Cage? He was Cottonmouth's lawyer / conciliary type dude. Yeah, he was also in the movie Army of the Dead as like the sleazy guy who gets carted off by the King Zombie. And yeah, that guy, the sleazy guy who basically threatened to out people as, infected to like get what he want, like whatever. He was a real douche, It was, but yeah, he played that role really well. And this movie, well, according to Devil Toasted, he kind of looks like Giancarlo Esposito. And like in the shot they posted of him, I'm like, damn, he does kind of look like Giancarlo. He got that greased back hair, got that mustache and the glasses. I'm like, damn, dude. He does kind of look like Giancarlo Esposito back in the 90s, man. Like, he does kind of look like that. But anyway, I mean, he don't look like him now. But like, yeah, if they ever did like a biopic or, if they ever needed to do like a flashback or something in a movie, you could, I guess. I mean, I don't know, man. Okay, maybe not a biopic, but like maybe a flashback or something. Maybe you could play his son. I don't know. But yeah, moving away from that. So yeah, he's this creepy dude in the van and he has a guy tied up in the back. And he's called The Watcher. He's part of a team that are trying to do something at the airport. Their initial plan is thrown into disarray when it turns out that Klopek is at the scanner instead of who they'd initially thought it would be. And now they have to pivot and target him instead of the guy they originally wanted, who was Klopek's buddy. The way Jason Bateman talks through the earpiece to Klopek once, the mind games start and he starts getting him to do what he wants, it's kind of like how Kiefer Sutherland in Phone Booth was talking to Stu, because he delivers every line with this flat, monotone delivery, like this very cold and calculating way, like a doctor giving a diagnosis more than anything. He's so detached from it all, and it kind of lets you know, like, he's done this kind of stuff so much that he's just numb to it. This is like nothing to him, and he's like snacking while he's talking through all this stuff, just casually going about the airport. and it shows like, oh, he's done this so many times that he's just numb to it. Like, yeah, I've threatened people before. I've taken people out in gruesome ways. It's nothing new to me. I know this is a big deal to you, but you're gonna get past that shit. You gotta get past that. We got work to do. He takes he takes his job very seriously. He's a professional at what he does. But what he's gotta do is like you you do see his plan and think to yourself, like, man, there had to be easier ways to do what you wanted to accomplish here. But I'm gonna get into that later in the review. Anywho. It's reminiscent of Die Hard 2 in terms of the whole wrong guy, wrong place scenario. And how he tries to get somebody. It is like Die Hard in a way that he tries to get someone else to intervene. He isn't the guy who dives into the hero role right away. He tries to get someone else to intervene, and there's even a backlash by the villain for his actions in form of him taking out the cop that he tried to get to help him. Kind of like how in Die Hard 2, they took down an entire plane as payback for what McClane was doing after he got in their way. And also how in like The Commuter, Liam Neeson's character tried to signal his friend to get help, and he got off the train, and they made sure to take him out. They let him know, like, hey, we are watching you. Don't pull any shit. We know what you're doing. Okay? Don't think you can outsmart us. Yeah, we got eyes on you from everywhere. It's like he tries to call the cops. They're like, hang up the phone right now. Like, we saw you dialing. He tries to like send a text using his smartwatch, and he's taping what they're saying. And like, cancel that text. We can see the smartwatch, dude. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm watching this, and I'm like, bro, at what point does it at what point does it register that, oh wait, I'm being watched? That means they can see everything. Everything, including the shit I'm doing now. Like, wait, I'm being watched. Like, he fucks up 3 times. The guy even tells him, like, okay, twice, like, the first 2 times I have to decide, but this third time, like, you done fucked up for real, man. Like, now there needs to be consequences. And that leads to the death of this guard. And it's like, damn. Unfortunately, the death of that guard ends up getting him out of that spot. Like, this boss is like, hey, you've been through a lot. We'll try again some other time. You come off that spot and your other friend will take place for you. So now he has to find a way to get his friend off the scanner, and he be the guy to get back on the job. He ends up framing his friend as an alcoholic, drinking on the job, and that straight up gets him fired. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You got your friend fired? I get it. You were trying to save his ass, but goddamn, man. It's straight up, it kind of reminds me of a phone booth instance where they like they kind of the Kiefer Sutherland's what he's asking Stu to do kind of paints him to be he's like Stu in phone booth was an asshole, but now he's making him be a real asshole. Like he has to be a real asshole just to keep somebody safe. Oh shit! But yeah. All this is being done. All that's being done. Okay, so the plot is all this is happening. They got the TSA guy, and they're trying to make him let a bag slide through as a way to get a bag with a nerve agent on board an airplane. And once he does, all Ethan has to do is just kick back and wait till the plane takes off. Meanwhile, this lady from the LAPD is investigating that fire and the people who got taken out, and they were taken out by the Traveler. And she's trying to find out what's going on. From some evidence she collected, it leads to her to figure out that there's a nerve agent. And we also, on the same day, got the canceled phone call, canceled 911 call that Ethan made from LAX. But around about the same time, a guy from Homeland Security shows up, and he's played by Logan Martian Green, and it's like, he is very shady. Like... I said here, I remember I said here, discount Tom Hardy from Upgrade is here as the Homeland Security agent, as the LAPD looks out into what's going on at the airport. And you just know he's shady. Not just because it's him playing it, but he's way too eager to help. He's way too nice, man. Like, what the heck? You got here fast? Like, we didn't even call you. You just showed up. that's an immediate sign that something is wrong. Fucking Homeland Security just showed up on its own. Whatever. No, wait. They did call Homeland and they came instantly. Really? Homeland Security showed up instantly for something that they don't know for sure is a threat? All you got is a garbled voice message and that's it? Whatever. The head of the airport is played by Aquaveda from The Shield. Yeah, remember The Shield back in the day? You remember Aquaveda? You remember how he used to give grief to, what's his name? Vic and them? Yeah. He's here as the head of airport PD, and he has like 2 scenes in the movie. He's standing in a room full of screens and he's just yelling about how, like we got like 3,000 people in here. So it's one of our busiest days. I'm not gonna shut down the whole airport. Like I'll close down one terminal, but the rest of the airport stays going. He's that guy. But yeah, Klopek tries to back out of it all, and he manages to get their bagman caught. He's like, well, I've done my part. It's over. I got your bagman caught. It's over. And I'm going to go get my girlfriend to safety before anything else happens. But like, as he gets to her, it's like, we see you. And they got the watcher is there in a sniping position and he's pointing a laser sight right at Nora's head. And the dude is like, say one word and she's dead. Say a damn thing and she's dead. Back up. And it happens right at the worst time too, because he was trying to get her to go and she's questioning him about like, did you, frame your friend with alcohol? Did you get him fired? And he can't say shit. Did you really do this? He can't say shit. All he does is back away. And he looks guilty as fuck. They made him look guilty as fuck. Like, oh, dude. Oh, man, this is bad. Like, he has to, like, back out and leave. But, like, yeah. Ethan manages to get the bagman out of trouble. But in doing so, his boss, played by Dean Norris, he gets killed. And it's revealed after the death that the bagman is actually a victim just like Ethan. A guy named Theo, and it turns out the guy that they tied up in the van that we saw earlier in the movie is his boyfriend. So it's like, oh damn, you're a victim just like me. It's kind of like that scene in Eagle-Eye where, Shia LaBeouf and I can't remember her name, but Shia LaBeouf is out in the woods and out in the middle of nowhere actually, and he's supposed to wait there to get a package from some dude, and the dude shows up, he gives him the package and he's like, I'm done, I'm seeing this shit. Like, wait a minute, are you working for this thing? Like, nah, that guy's a victim being manipulated by this shit. And same thing, everyone they meet who helps them get from A to B in that movie is being manipulated by the AI somehow. Like, strange, because even the like towards the very end when Michelle Monaghan is being all dressed up and has to attend some I don't know, some meeting that is happening that the president is also attending. She tries to get the dude who's dressing her to help her out, and by telling her like, whatever, like it's like, but it's my son, how you have to help me, like please, they have my child, you have to do something. You can tell like he doesn't want to do this, but he's going along with it anyway because they probably got somebody that he cares about too. No one is willingly going along with this AI. Everyone is going along with it under some kind of threat. Everyone is just some unknowing accomplice working for somebody that everyone is unknowingly taking instructions from somebody who's taking instructions from someone else. No one in here is really leading the charge. And it falls apart in that movie thanks to human interference. But in this movie, it also falls apart thanks to human interference. It's like, okay, before we get to that, the LAPD lady and the Homeland Security guy are on their way to the airport, and she gets a phone call from her office saying that, oh, by the way, she's in the car with Agent so-and-so from Homeland Security, but she gets a phone call like, oh, by the way, Homeland Security just showed up. Yeah, they're on their way to meet you. And he's like, oh, I'm with Agent Homeland Security right now. And the guy on the other phone's like, wait a minute. If Homeland Security just showed up, then who the heck is And she knows, like, yeah, this dude's not who he says he is. Like, I'm gonna pop this fool if he don't tell me who the hell he is now. And they have this fight in the car. There's this it's pretty good camera work. I'll give it that much. There's some pretty good camera work as the camera like pans all around the car to show this 360 fight. But it's what's going on outside that's like really weird because the car's driving down the freeway and these two are fighting back and forth in this car while the car is speeding. And it's like, what the fuck is going on outside? Why did this movie just devolve into a video game cutscene outside, but on the inside it's two very real people slugging it out? Like, what the heck? So the car just crashes going 70 miles an hour down the freeway, and somehow, she's able to survive the crash, you know, finish off discount Tom Hardy, and get out of the car to rush to the airport to bust the bad guys. Speaking of the bad guys, characters who are really smart suddenly get really stupid because before their plan is even done, before they even, before their plan is even done, before they are even anywhere near accomplishing their goal, they tell Mateo to kill Ethan. And I'm just like, bro, you aren't even done yet. They haven't even done the thing you want them to do. The bag isn't even on the flight. They're still taking it there, and you're like, oh, by the way, take out Ethan. I'm like, you are tying up loose ends. Dude, you tie up loose ends at the end. You don't tie up loose ends before the thing is done. You still need them. They're not loose yet. They're still being tied at that point. The fuck are you doing? You would have won had you not gotten ahead of yourself. Had you not told Ethan and to try and had you not told Mateo to try to kill Ethan, there's a high probability that Mateo and Ethan would have just done what they'd done, what they were supposed to do, and then gone on the fuck out of their way. Like, you didn't have to, you kind of didn't have to kill anybody. Okay, he had to take out that guard because that guard was going to say something. I get that. But after that, he really didn't have to kill anybody. If you think about it, I mean, damn, he could have won. He could have got away with it if not for his own, I don't know, his own overeagerness, his own clichéness, man. Damn. Oh, well, at least we get this interesting fight with Ethan and Mateo in this baggage sorting area. It's straight out of Eagle-Eye as when Shia LaBeouf was fighting Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, and they were fighting on with all the bags getting shoved to one slide, being reallocated to different slides and shit with all this shunting and gears and everything. It also kind of reminiscent of that fight in the airport with McClane and that one dude in Die Hard 2, except that guy got crunched up in some gears. Yeah. Anyway, there's this plastic gun. Yeah, Chekhov's plastic gun that the villain was using to fire at Ethan that Ethan has. And Mateo gets a hold of it, and he's using it to take shots at Ethan. But what's his name? Not the Watcher. The Traveler warned him that with each shot, it gets hotter and hotter. So with every shot that he takes, it gets hotter and hotter. And once it gets too hot, the bullets are just going to explode in your hand. So yeah. As this fight is happening, dude keeps taking pot shots at Ethan. And like you can see he's trying to warn him about the gun, but he punches him off before he can finish. And he's like running around and he's getting another shot. And there's this kind of ticking clock and tension to the fight. Like, oh man, what's the shot that's gonna be? Like, oh shit, if you fired off another one, oh shit, there goes another one. Yeah, oh, shit, this is gonna be bad. What's it gonna be? And kablam! It blows up and it takes out Mateo, and it's like, damn, man. Like, shit. That wasn't cool, man. Oh. Anyway, this is a lot like McClane in the first movie. It's a lot like Die Hard because it takes a while before dude goes full action hero and tries to save the day himself, because he spends most of the movie trying to get other people to help him, trying to warn people, trying to not be the guy involved. It kind of trying to not be the guy, kind of it fits thematically with the character because he spent so long in his life not stepping up and, actively pursuing his dreams, just, glad to I don't know, seemingly glad to just let things be done by other people instead of being the one to go out and do things. And in the situation, he was trying really hard to get other people to deal with the bad guys, other people to try to stop the threat. But now, as he realizes he's the one that has to stop this, he's the only one who can. And it's good. He even goes, like, he even straight up ditches the uniform, and now he's just rocking like a full black shirt. Like, yeah, it's pretty good. It would have been kind of cliche if he ditches the security shirt and he just got like a tank top underneath that. Like, okay, come on now. But yeah, so he goes off to try and defuse the bomb himself because he did it earlier in the movie. And like the trumpets are blaring and the action hero music is going as he makes this full on like heroic charge towards the plane. So yeah, it's a good moment. Like, all right, we got us a moment. This is the hero moment. Where the cape at? So the movie even has a bit of Passenger 57 in it as Ethan boards a plane from the outside just as it's taken off. But there's a cliche in here. Bad guy monologues instead of immediately taking out the hero, and it's ultimately what leads to the hero getting the upper hand and taking him out. Because that's what happened. Fucking Bateman's character monologues instead of immediately taking out Ethan, and that's what leads to him knocking his ass into a booth, throwing the toxin in there with him, and like sealing him inside. The shit melts him down. Like it's the toxin straight out of Michael Bay's The Rock. Yeah, at the end of it all, he lands. The plane turns around, lands safely, and I'm not gonna tell you what or who you're trying to take out or why, because that's its own thing. I mean, you watch the movie to find that out. You think it's one thing, but really it's another thing, and it's like you sit there and you're just like, really? You wanted to do this? I'll tell you this much. I watched Snakes on a Plane and I thought to myself, wait a minute. You filled a plane with poisonous snakes to take out a witness. If you can fill a plane full of poisonous snakes to get to a witness, wouldn't it be a lot easier, instead of getting thousands of poisonous snakes, would it have been a lot easier to just sneak a bomb on the plane? Or to sneak a hitman? Because damn, man, shit. Like, what the fuck, man? If it's so easy that you can sneak thousands of sneaking, wouldn't it be easier to sneak a bomb on the plane? And I watched this movie and I'm like, that answer to a question, wouldn't it be easier to sneak a bomb on board? No. Because they got to go through a whole lot of bullshit to sneak this bomb on board. And like, yeah. So whatever. It would not be easier for the bad guy in Snakes on a Plane to sneak a bomb on board. But it would be easier for him to sneak a fucking hitman, because the damn hitman sneaks on the plane just fine. Like, wait a minute, fucking dude, if you were sneaking on this plane to take out someone on it, and, why don't you just, if the bomb is no longer an option, why don't you just go up there with your little plastic weapon that you somehow managed to sneak past scanners, and then kablam the person you're supposed to do, kablam the two pilots, and jump out? Like, seriously, this is way too convoluted. This is way more convoluted than it needs to be. But hey, I ain't no hitman. What do I know? Another cliche happens at the very end, as after all this, after he saves the day and the cops swoop in and, like they're surrounding him like, on your knees, get on your knees now. Like the cop that he attacked comes in, is like, wait, he's not, yeah, it's like the ending of Enemy of the State where all the cops come in and they're like, coming in to arrest people, and they point out the one dude and like, hey, easy with Will Smith's character. He's not one of them. That's kind of what she does, because I was like, hold up. Like, he's not the guy. Like, he's not the guy we're looking for. As he's laying there, he gets offered a job at the LAPD by that lady. They finally, him and his girlfriend, they reunite and they finally take that trip to Tahiti that they've been thinking about. And not only that, but at the last scene of the movie, an item that he checks in with the other carry-ons is his LAPD badge. Oh yeah. They straight up offered him a job after all this, and he got it, yeah, they wouldn't keep mentioning like, yeah, flunked out of the academy, wanted to be a cop, but he flunked out of the academy. If at the end it wasn't going to turn around and become a cop, like, come on, like, Plus, it's a good thing that she offered him that job because after all the shit he did, bro, he was so fired, man. You are so fired, it's not even funny. But anyway, man, yeah. I give it I give it about an 8 out of 10, man. I give this movie an 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's it's one of the better Netflix movies out there, Netflix originals out there, and the film is well shot. The dialogue between it's reminiscent of a lot of movies. It's definitely parts parts of a bunch of different movies that have been like sewn together into like one cohesive story, like one cohesive film. Like I said before, you got a bit of Phone Booth in there. You got a bit of Die Hard 2. You got a bunch of different movie plot points, coming in together to make a new plot point. But you can clearly see where this movie got its inspirations from. You can clearly see what it was going for and how it executes it. Like though the exposition blurb at the beginning of hey, you dropped out of the academy, or having a baby, oh, well, you used to be a track star. They tell you everything you need to know about this character in the first like 5 minutes of meeting him. That was something I'm like, okay, that could have been done better. We could have been spoon-fed some of this information. We don't need to have characters at the beginning of the story blur about everything about themselves. That's not necessary. We don't need to do that. There are better ways to introduce exposition and tell us something about the main characters without just having them blurt out who they are, what they're doing, their interests, their hobbies, and hopes and dreams in the first couple minutes. Like, that we don't need. But yeah, Jason Bateman as the villain was pretty good. Taron Egerton as the action hero type character, the John McClane-esque action hero he was well cast in this role. It wasn't like Eggsy in The Kingsman. He did it in his own way. Yeah. 8 out of 10 is what I give this movie. This has been another episode of Moonlight Kingdom Reviews. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.